only way to describe it is life-changing. The experience is everlasting.
I was just in awe of like being able to see something different. I think what called my attention was that I've always wanted to get out of like small town Iowa because I've always known that there's so much more out there, and my dream has always been to be able to experience different cultures, different people in general, because like I appreciate that. I think everyone should experience that. So that was like the big thing that got my attention, was like Nepal. It's a beautiful area. You think of Mount Everest first, like that may be the first thing that comes to mind. But then I think about like all the culture surrounding it. And that was one thing that I was just fascinated by.
Being from a small town, I really didn't think that something like this was feasible. Kirkwood is incredible in making sure that there's scholarships available. There's plenty of different ways to make your dreams a reality. And something like this is so much bigger than yourself, especially this program in Nepal. You get, to work with people and make a difference in people's lives, which is why I specifically picked this program.
The group of students that we had go, it was such an amazing experience to see another culture, try new foods, see another part of the world and how people live. And just it's essential for students to have an opportunity to travel to this region of the world. The culture, the language, the food, the religion, you name it, it's going to have substantial differences than what you're accustomed to here.
This was my first abroad experience, and just the insight into how the rest of the world works, and realizing really what we have here.
Like there's just so much to take in. It was almost like that in itself was overwhelming, because there's just so much information, so many things that we're learning all in one setting. But I think the aspect of learning in person and seeing these things for yourself is so much different than sitting in a classroom and hearing these things from someone else. And so that's what I appreciated the most.
For me personally, I've spent many years in a classroom where I have an opportunity to create community an hour a day for 3 or 4 times a week over a period of months. But this opportunity to bring together a dozen folks who don't know one another, who have limited shared experiences, and experience something like this, the opportunity to create a community and a group of people who in many ways will be like family by the end. For me, it's providing that opportunity and then the joy of creating community and shared experience.
We met a lot of different people, and even in our own group, Kirkwood has such a range of different people with different interests, and you don't realize, there's no way to connect with those people until you have something like that. Otherwise, we're all going to the same classes, we have majors, we're all likely to have similar interests. Kirkwood Abroad smashes that. You see everyone, you all come in with a different mindset, you learn a lot from each other, and you make lasting friendships. I still talk to Jack. Actually, I hang out with his twin brother way more often than I hang out with him, but you would never even see those friendships forming without an experience like this.
My advice would be to reach out and have that conversation with someone. Like if you're interested, even if you're just like slightly interested, talk to someone who either has studied abroad, has traveled abroad, or someone in that has the resources that can give them the information that they need, because I think that's kind of the biggest step to overcome.
You need to experience another culture, another part of the world, and there is no place better than Nepal to experience different in virtually every aspect of your life.
Do it. I mean, there's no hesitation. If I had the choice to go tomorrow, I'd be packing my bags. The experience is invaluable. There's no way that I would be the person I am now without this type of experience. Like I said, I refer back to it often. It comes up in my stories. I use it to describe who I am. And I think that the potential that you don't see is limitless. You could come back a completely different person.